go to ArcGIS Pro here and start a new project. I'm going to save the old one and just open up a new one, new map. And I guess I'll just call this campus map. Maybe chapter 4 campus map, how's that? And I'll definitely not create a new project for it, but go to chapter 4. Put it in the right place here. Oops, wrong place. Yes. We're starting a new map. We're going to put it in our chapter 4 folder. If you don't have a chapter 4 folder, you can add a new item and add a new folder. Or you could have it do it for you.
So can you do that all in create a new project or location? Create a new folder? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, back here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could, so I'm going to put it in my chapter 4 folder, but if I wanted a new folder inside of that, then I could keep this box checked and it'll make a new folder called with the same name as my project name. So there'll be a folder with the name chapter 4 campus map, as well as the project being named chapter 4 project map.
Okay, now browse
Campus.
where I want to.
Yeah. So I'm not going to check that. I'm just going to keep that project in there and okay.
So you can't just go from your old map to the new map.
I did, actually. Yeah, and it takes out the old one and puts in the new one.
Oh, you go to catalog.
Yep, catalog. And so now my home folder is this chapter 4 folder. Has some stuff in it that I actually might want. So the first thing I want to do is find the, I'm going to add the folder connection to the class data folder also, actually. Okay, so in the class data folder, in the chapter 4 folder, I think, well, there's a bunch of other stuff too. I should take that stuff out. So yes, after I open up my map, I add one other connection, and that's to the class data folder. So I can get some data that I want. I don't know where the data is.
What's the chapter 4?
The chapter 4 is in my folder. So if yeah, you would have to make one for yours since.
How do I change the file location?
For your map?
Yeah. What would be the option for like exporting files?
This is good because we, to start a new project, we need to have access to our data sources, but we're going to move those into our home folder so that you can work at home with that home folder, right? So all you got to do is copy that home folder to a jump drive and
chapter 4?
yeah, in our case, chapter 4, right?
Okay,
So,
cool.
But we don't have any data in the chapter 4, right? Well, I do because it's old, but I'm going to download, because I don't even know where this is. I wonder. Yeah, that's okay. So in the class data folder, there's a bunch of data in here, but it's nothing that we need. I'm just going to look real quick again. Yeah, I'm not getting it. Okay, so I'm going to go online to the Farmington website, fmtn.org. And under community, we can go to maps and GIS and downloadable data sets. We're going to grab some data from the city. And the one thing, well, we did we made a Farmington map before, right? Did we?
Yeah.
And what did we have in it? We had the roads, right?
You know, we have the road, fire stations.
Okay. So we already have the road, so we don't have to download that. But the building footprints is what I want to do now. So we don't all have to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and download that and put it in the class data folder, and then I'll show you what to do.
Okay, so where'd you get the download from?
Yeah, that's in. Okay, let me just do this super quick. Class data, chapter 4, building footprints. That's fine. That was quick. Okay, I'll leave that there. So, how did I get here? If you go to community and downloadable data sets under the maps and GIS.
Oh,
So that's all in there. The county also has, well, we've gone to the county for stuff too. So in fact, we're going to again. Anyway, so let's go back.
Oh, Brian, can I ask you something? I have no class data folder now. I have to redid that.
Right, so what you want to do is right click on folders and add a folder connection. And then go to the class data folder and okay that.
Within, I have to go to Gonzo,
Yeah.
and I could still go back where I didn't add that when we were doing our thing.
Yeah. So I right clicked my chapter 4 folder and refreshed it in the class data. And then, well, actually, I don't need to do that yet. What I do need to do is unzip it. Forgot about that. So I'm going to open folder location, and that's in my chapter 4 folder. Not my chapter 4, the class data chapter 4 folder. And I'm going to right click it and extract all here. So now I have all these building footprints. I have this building footprint shape file, okay? So that's all I want, and now I'm going to refresh the folder.
So you refreshed your class data.
Yeah, actually I just refreshed the chapter 4 folder.
The chapter 4, so that's why you class data is not.
What? So were you successful getting your class data folder in your list of folders? Well, if you can refresh it, then means you have it, right? So twirl it down, go to the chapter 4 part of it, and then you should see building footprints. Now, I don't want us to add it to our map, though. What we want to do, actually, let's add it to the map. Sorry. Because we don't want all of it, right? We just want the campus buildings is what we're after. So I'm going to add it to here, and then we'll export the campus buildings to our geodatabase in our home folder, which is going to be named the same name as this, my chapter 4 campus map one, this guy right here.
so how do we do it?
So I'll show you. Yeah. We'll go back to, and I'm going to add the building footprints to my map.
Oh, exactly.
Just drag it in, yeah. I'm going to turn off the world topographic map, although that looks really cool, and the world hillshade. So those are all the building footprints that the city has on file. It's not all of them, because some buildings have been built since they did this. Okay. So what I want to do is zoom in on the campus, if I can find it. I think we could find it from here. Yeah, right there, right? So I would assume that these are the campus buildings, right? I mean, just these guys around here. So I'm going to go to my map. Does everybody find it? Get zoomed in on it?
No.
Okay, we'll give you time to do that.
Oh, there it is. It's already been.
Resume recording. Okay, I'm going to repeat what I just said because I hadn't recorded. So we zoomed in, right? We found the campus and we zoomed in, and we can turn on the topographic map so we can kind of tell where things are. And then I got the select tool from the map ribbon, right? And there's the select tool. And then we can drag a box around across the street to the others. This is just the campus building stuff, right? So those are the only buildings I want to export to my particular geodatabase, right? And we'll stay on this side of College and Pinion Hills.
Did you pick line or rectangle?
Oh, you know what? Here's some. I didn't pick anything, but it's rectangle. See, the default is rectangle. So if you just click on the tool, that's what it's going to pick. So good question. Oh, and I forgot these. There's some outbuildings for the golf course. Those are also campus buildings, technically. So I guess I'll choose those too. So how do you do that? If I do this, it deselects those, and so I select the majority of them, hold the Shift key down, and click the rest, or drag a box around the rest of them, and then I have all the buildings I need. That's the school down there, so we don't need that.
So you right click and hold the shift.
No, a left click and drag your box around it with the Shift key held down will add to the selection. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right, so I have them selected. Also,
Your streets are on there, mine aren't.
oh yeah, let me turn those off. Okay, so now I have them right there. Thank you.
How do you keep them selected?
Well, like if you click and deselect them, you gotta select them again. There's actually, if you click on these properties, these options, you can do something else which is used in AutoCAD. Let me see. Maybe not. Can you? Well, anyway, it does tell you it'll create a new selection when you drag a box around something, right? Or you can have it just add to the current one. By default, you can hold the Shift key and click on something to add, or click a box around something to add to it. Or you can hold the Control key and remove stuff from the selection. So what this says, let me cancel that. What this says is I can hold the Shift key down and drag a box around these buildings and add those buildings to the current selection. Yeah? Okay.
That's good.
But let's say I accidentally cross the street, like I said we shouldn't, right? So I got those buildings. Oh no, how do I deselect those, right? So hold the Control key and I can just click, or drag a box, right? Okay. Oh, but that wasn't exactly everything I wanted to say. So I'm going to go back to this menu. You can also control whether the items or the features in your map can be selected by the box just hitting the item, or that the items have to be completely within the box, right? So that's those options, and I think we're pretty much, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, so now that I have them selected, I want to export them, and I want to put them in this geodatabase that has the same name as in your home folder, you should see a white can, which is your geodatabase, that has the same name as your project. Yeah? Everybody see where that is? That's where we're going, right? That's where we want to export these things. So we already have building footprints highlighted, and I want to go to data, the data ribbon on the far right, and export features, which is sort of on the right, third from the right in the ribbon.
Oh.
We're good? So export features, and it opens up the panel for exporting features. And the output location defaults to your home geodatabase, which is exactly where we want it. So it's totally great. And we just name it. So I'm just going to call it, what? SJC for the campus and BLDG for buildings. How about that? SJC buildings.
Would you put no space?
No spaces, no periods, no funky characters. Underscores would work if you want to use those. Well, that's no, keep what you have, because that's the default location, right? So your default location is your home location, and that's where we want it. So don't change that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, what else? Environments, right? Output coordinate system. Well, probably the current map. And the reason I think it's the current map is because that was the first data set I put in there, was the building footprints. So regardless of whether I pick current map or building footprints, it's going to be that same North American data of 1983, New Mexico West, FIPS, 3,003 feet. Is that what it says? Yep, yep. That is a projected coordinate system that's designed for around here. So that's great. And let's just click OK. So now it's going to add it to my map, which means I can clear the selection, go back to my map, clear the selection, and nothing looks like it's any different. But if I turn off the building footprints and zoom out, that's the only data in the map, right? So I don't need my building footprints anymore, so I'm going to remove it. So now I have one layer in my map, and it just has those buildings in it. A couple advantages of this is it's just going to be faster to redraw and zoom around and stuff, right? Did that work? Yeah, in the map ribbon, there's a clear button. Another way to deselect stuff, oops, where's my select tool? So if I have stuff selected, you can just click away from it. Now, sometimes if there's like background data, like, I don't know, parcels or something like that, it may select something else if you do that, but in this case, I know that it won't, so I can just click away and it deselects. Or you can click on that clear button, right? So if I have some stuff selected, I can click on clear in the selection area of the ribbon, and that gets rid of it as well. Or the worst way you can do that is hold the control key down and unselect it, right? But what's the purpose of that, right? I did, because all I want is the SJC buildings footprint layer.
What's the output name?
You can name it whatever you want, but something descriptive that's not too long, right? I just named it SJC BLDG, right? SJC buildings. So that would work. Okay. The other thing I want to be able to do is see if that's all the buildings we have, right? So how are we going to do that? Walk around the campus and see if those are all the buildings? Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. So, well, this is it. but it's not current, right? So, however, aerial imagery helps, right? So let's import the imagery from the county to help us out with this. So I'm going to go back to my browser, go to sjcounty, I could spell .net, sjcounty.net, and under what, government, there should be a GIS office in here somewhere. Yeah, Geographic Info Systems. Wait for that to load. Did everybody find it? Sorry, little too fast. sjcounty.net.
So I'm on that. Yeah.
Okay, and go to government and geographic info systems, top right. It'll open up a new window or a new tab, and we can scroll down towards the bottom before you get to Sharice's name there and mugshot. There's a WMS services, so that's a web map server service, I guess. Yeah. So I'm going to click on this link, and it opens up a PDF file. And the 2019 imagery is the latest, so they're going to fly it again pretty soon if they have money, which they might not. So I don't know. It won't open it. Oh, don't use Edge, like ever. I could almost call that a blanket statement. Don't use Edge. It's like, it's kind of like Nike. Just do it. Don't use Edge. Right? That would be my. Yeah, you can use Chrome. I use Brave, the Brave browser, because it has a crypto wallet embedded in it. So you, but anyway, that goes back to the.
Which one did you choose? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I haven't chosen anything yet, but
How'd you get to that?
so under, yeah, I did choose the WMS services. Click on that link right under it.
Oh, wait, how'd you get? Oh, all the way at the bottom.
It is almost all the way at the bottom, yeah.
Okay, click on the imagery. Gotcha. Okay.
And that opens this PDF file, except in Edge. And then you can right-click that and copy link address. All we want is the address.
Of the 2019.
Yeah, that's the latest and greatest that they have. They might have higher files. Okay, all right. Do that.
That's the step where you get rid of the rest.
You can just uncheck it. Now you uncheck world to go. And that'll.
All the other buildings still on there.
Yeah. Oh, and then yeah, just you can right click and remove the other layer. So in here we have the building footprints. So where's the other? Were you able to export it? Yeah. So control down. Go ahead and drag that into. Oh, that's a team. Oh, I see. Okay, so select these again. And the
Copy address.
Yep. So right-click, copy link address, not the text or anything. And that way, when we go back to here, we can insert a new connection here, right? So, so I go to the insert and connections and WMS server connection, right? You with me? So we copied that address from that PDF file from the county. So we're in the insert ribbon now. That's why you have two screens. Just okay. So new WMS server, and all you got to do is paste, just Control V and OK. Well, and then, I mean, that's not all you have to do. That's all we're going to have time for today. But, well, almost, right? So if I scroll down, let me scroll up folders. And so see where it says servers now? So not in folders, but in servers, I have my WMS on webmaps, sjcounty.net, blah, blah, blah. And then I twirl that down, and I see the SJC 2019 imagery, and I'll drag that into the map.
Okay, back up a second. You go to connections and where do you paste it?
Right in that top bar.
Oh,
Add database.
SJC 2019 imagery?
Yep.
PDF?
So now we can see, I mean, this color is not the greatest, right? So maybe if I did something like peony pink or something, I can see which ones it's missing pretty easily, right? Even the trades and technology area here, they added more area to the auto shops and stuff and whatever. And then they have this old building, and then the gym over here and all that. And then they have the dorms that they are not yet done. Well, anyway, that's what we're going to be doing, is adding these buildings. So let's save our map, and we'll call it a day. So save, and we'll see you Monday.
So other than that, we can just print it